All right, what's going on? It's been a while. Every time I come back, I say, "Hey, I'll be back again," and I take a while because I forget things all the time. But today, I have a cool, different idea I wanted to try. So tomorrow is my 20th birthday, which is just crazy for me to think. I know it's only 20, but just to think that my teens are over. It's just weird. I get real nostalgic about everything. The more you get to know me, the more you'll understand that everything that could be overthought, I'll find a way. So, um, tomorrow being my 20th birthday, I thought it would be cool on my, at least the musical side of my life, to have a kind of a walkthrough as to where I kind of started last year when I turned 19, because I played my first gig last year, June 28th, so it was like a week after my birthday, a couple weeks after my birthday. So I would like to do a walk down of how the past year's gone and how crazy it's been, because it has been one hell of a year. It has just been unreal. Um, it's been one of the hardest years of my life, definitely, but it has also been one of the most fun and most rewarding and most encouraging, more importantly, about my future and where I may end up and where I'd like to end up. That being said, let's get into it. So, June 28th was my first ever gig that I got paid for, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I got to play at a place in Louisville called the Unhitched Brewery, and it was just unreal. I remember showing up and just how nervous I was, and completely. I knew I was prepared, but I'd never done it before, and I just feared the unknown, and I was like, oh my gosh, what could happen? How's this gonna go? That was a ton of fun. Everybody loved it. It was a good time, and I learned so much from it. And that was where I established that my dad was going to end up being my roadie slash sound guy um, per pretty much every gig after that, because he just loves and supports me in my journey so much, and everybody in my family does. My mom, my sister, my grandparents. Um, they all have their own special parts that they play, but his part is my roadie, and it was really cool. I got to spend some good time with him, and over the year, we've had some cool gigs and had a cool experience together, being able to figure all that out and navigate it together and grow. So that was my first gig, and I'm not going to walk through every single one and how everything happened, just kind of a brief overview. And so after that, I had a private gig, which private gigs don't even get me started. I personally hate private gigs. They're fun once you're there, but like I said, I overthink everything, and they scare the hell out of me because I don't know what they're gonna like. And it's somebody, usually it's somebody's house or somebody's party, a big event for them, and then I'm the music. And I understand that they trust me and they, want me to be there, but I still overthink because I want to give them a good show and I want to do the best that I can, and it just scary. But I'll get over it the more I do it. But they can be the most fun too. I remember I had one gig for a private party. It was a retirement party, and I was really only supposed to play like a couple, maybe 3 hours. And I ended up, I don't think I left until 11 midnight because they kept just, wanting me to play. And they kept, paying me and everything, but I was having a great time and they were having a great time. So it was like, why leave? So that was a really cool experience for the Masalco family. Shout out to Pat and everybody. He's the one that got me started really with my gigs. He gave me, oh man, basically everything in 2023 that I played in some way or another. He was kind of the facilitator for that. It was something he either couldn't do or somebody reached out to him and he had something better going on. And so I ended up getting a lot of those, and I couldn't have done that without him because I didn't have to reach out for any gigs, and I am very fortunate and spoiled to say that. That's really cool. Not many people can say that. And this year, 2024, was a rude awakening because I had to, go out and door knock and all that stuff to try and get gigs, and I'm struggling a little bit. I'm working on getting some momentum, but we're making progress, and that's part of learning. So I did some gigs in the summer and played in through the fall, and kept growing and kept writing and working at the restaurant and doing my normal life. I think, that fall semester of 2023, I still was in school and did that last semester all online, so I had more time for my music. and that was a good decision. I have no regrets about that. And after that, I played a lot of Christmas shows. I remember November and December, I had quite a few gigs and things lined up that were a lot of fun. And one of them was one of the most important little gigs that I actually came upon, and it was the Light Up the Tree downtown Maslin, where I got to meet my now producer, Bob Beals. He is, or he was a player that was playing a couple spots after me, and everybody played like three Christmas songs. And I just remember it was great, great time. It was cold. It was so cold. I couldn't feel my hands. And I remember it was kind of nervous because I grew up right down the street on 2nd Street in Maslin, and so I always wanted to play like downtown because they always had the car show and everything. And I always saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to be able to do that one day. And they built that amphitheater, and I got to play on a few Christmas songs, and it was really fun. And I actually, like I said, met Bob, and we talked and found out he produced, and he said, you know, if you ever want to try recording something, send it my way. And I, at the time, didn't really think I had the chops, and, you know, I had very little self confidence. I knew what I could do, but I didn't have confidence in what I was going to do with it, I guess. And so I kept writing and had my songs, and my family really liked them, obviously, and I know my girlfriend really liked them, and my friends really liked them and thought they were cool, and the people that I played them for really liked them. And you would think any normal person would know all that, see all that, and say, oh, maybe I should try something with this. Not me. I just try and, you know, that's my problem. Self-confidence. That was the theme of this year, was developing self-confidence. And I'm not by any means on the way to having it. I don't have it yet, but I'm on the way, and I'm working really hard to get it. And I can see from last year to this year at this time how much has changed and how much I've grown. And I have to recognize the little victories like that, and I think that's pretty cool. So I met Bob, and I sent him a demo of one of my songs called Drive Away that everybody really loves, and my grandpa plays harmonica with me when I play it live, and it's a blast. And I'm actually, at the time of recording this video, that's the next one that I'm going to be recording in the studio for this album that I'm putting together, which, spoiler alert. So I have this guy that I send the demo to, and he really likes it, and so I go in and talk to him, and I spent probably a couple hours in his studio just talking to him. He got to know me, I got to know a little bit about him, and it was pretty much history after that. I liked what I heard, and I knew I was going to be getting my tonsils out in January, and I met him in December. So I didn't want to really start recording anything then, just because I was going to be laid up for a couple weeks, and then I probably wouldn't be able to sing for a month or so, and I didn't really want to have to start something just to stop, so I told him I'd wait till after. And went through December, played my shows, and I had my last show for a while on New Year's Eve for a retirement home. That was so much fun. I got to play an hour of oldies and spend New Year's Eve with some of the nicest and just, oh my gosh, it was such a blast. I have no words for how much fun that was. And I raced home, and we had our New Year's Eve party, which was so much fun too. But that a couple days later, I got my tonsils out, and I was down for, I don't know, it was about a week. I was really struggling. I would never do that again, which is my favorite joke to say, because obviously I'll never have to do it again. But, you know, if you don't laugh about it, what are you doing? So it was rough, and after about 3 weeks, I started I started having the ability to physically try and sing. I probably shouldn't have been. I was biting at the bit I really wanted to start singing again. I hate not being able to. I love when I'm able to, and so when I can't sing, I hate that feeling, because it feels like it got taken away from me for some reason. It's a whole thing. But around 3 or 4 weeks, I started playing around a little more and recording some demos, and we started at least recording Waiting, my first song, and we tracked the vocals for that a little over a month after I got my tonsils out officially, which is pretty crazy to think. Like, I tracked vocals for a track that is on Apple Music, Spotify, all that, a month after I got my tonsils out. And a few weeks after, or a month after that, I stopped by a gig at the Hex where a lady, Tanya Reynolds, was playing. She's big in Nashville, which was awesome. And she let me play a few songs with her. And that was only a few weeks after I got my tonsils out. And that was the first time I played in front of people after, and it was a blast. And I was so nervous because after a while, you get scared that you forget how to do it, or at least I do. This isn't blanket. Anything I say, technically, for most people, would probably be a lot easier, and this would be a couple-minute video rather than however long this is going to be, but it's just my experience and my journey, so I have to say it my way, and unfortunately that has lots of twists and turns. So long story short, I play that, and play some of my gigs. Then in February, at the end of February, I feel good enough to start getting back out there and playing, and then ever since then, I was recording a bunch, and like I said, my producer and I are working on an album, so I went through the whole process of recording one song, releasing it as a single, getting it out there, going through the whole process. It was super overwhelming. I learned so much from it. It was a ton of fun. I remember, if you can see right there, it's a little paper record that my grandma had made, and it says Austin Haig Waiting, and it's a record, and I think it's just like the coolest thing because it just shows how much my family supports me and how excited they are for me, and I could not do it without you guys, and I love you, and I will say that any chance I get, as long as I'm still breathing, because it's true. I'm not just saying it to sound good like some people. It's kind of obvious when they do, but I honestly mean it, and I hope the people that are listening, hear that and see that. So I got that out, and then we started pushing a little faster and recording more to get ready for this album to be done, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the end of September, early October. And it's going to be an 8-track album, which is going to be a blast, and it's already so much fun to put together. I got 3 songs pretty much done, and we only have 5 more to go, obviously. So that's pretty cool. And ever since then, I've just been playing gigs when I can, saying yes to everything. I joined a NACA association. I took the last semester off school, and I don't regret that at all. I've struggled with other things that are of my own, personal being, but I can only imagine how much harder it would have been to navigate music, life, family, God, everything like that, and have school, something that I really hated. I really did. And I know it's becoming a little less necessary, per se. There's so many more avenues for my generation to be successful. And maybe at some point I will go back, but it's not for me right now. It's not in my plan. And I have my heart and my mind open to anything, but I know for a fact that was not for me. At least not right now. So that's basically all I've been doing, is just playing what I can, and I've had quite a few shows, and I've been working to make a name, and I'm going to keep trying. I mean, it's only 1 year. It's hard to believe how far and how fast I've been able to make progress just in a year, and I'm going to continue to keep trying to get better and keep finding new ways to increase my knowledge and grow, and I hope next year, if I remember to make something like this, it'll be a lot more interesting than this year, and then the year after that'll be more interesting. So thank you for listening, and thank you to sticking with me on my journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video I make. But I've gotta keep waiting for my day.